Look at this. Lusciousness. Lusciousness. This is the new kit from Tracie Fox Creative. The Exhibit 2025. And it is a kind of slide kit, really. There's small slides. There's these bigger ones. Photograph slides, which is, I love all these. I love all these. And what I'm going to do with these, you could do with these as well. But I'm going to use these because I've had this idea in my head for a long time. A long time. And when this kit came out, I thought, all right, okay, just do it now, Kirsten, then. So I'm not actually going to be using any of these for this project, although I will be using these for other things that you will doubtless see at some point. My name's Kirsten, by the way. I don't think I said that. Welcome to my channel. I'm going to use these to make a little journal, basically, and I'm going to use these as pages. There are 3 types of these slides. There's these ones, which have 1. There's these images which have no apertures, and there's this image which has 2 apertures. So these are the 3 types of image that are of the photographic slides. There are ones that are kind of got a browny hue, and there are ones that got a bluey hue. And so what I've done is this is what's left over after I've printed the slide pages once, and then I printed this page a second time because I needed a couple more of the blue ones. So I've printed that page once, I've printed that page once, and they're my leftovers, and I've printed that page twice, and they're my leftovers. This is, I'm counting this as one of the bluey images. So let me show you what I have done and where I am going. This is one of the signatures, and here is, should have left these out. Here is one of, this is the brown one, so let's use a brown one. This is this page here, and I've just used, oh, I haven't showed you them yet. Let's bring this over. I'm going to get teased about this because I was teased about how neat and tidy it was after I cut it out, and it got into such a mess that I had to put everything in little boxes so that I didn't keep losing things. So I'm bracing myself for the comeback, because actually it was just I couldn't do it. But there's some big medallions, and there's some little medallions, and there's some little ones of these and some bigger one of these, and there's some big squares, and there's some little squares in this one, and there's some buggies, and there's buggies this side as well, and then there's some lots of different kind of labels and numbers and all kinds of things. Now this label here, the blank label, is because I used one of these labels and it was too long for what I'm doing, so I cut the label off, so I got a blank label, and I'm very excited about having a blank label. I've kind of managed to get a couple of them. You can also get it off the little ones and have a little blank label. Yeah, these are the only, let's put those over that side. These are the different ones. There's some of these which are definitely kind of from underneath the microscope. So this is all, there's just so much of these little bits and pieces. I mean, these do, and actually these are really kind of, then it's probably, well, you know, I will use the other bits and pieces, but these bits down the bottom, it's kind of, I just want a page of these, and I'm going to just have them permanently. So that's the little bits and pieces that I've been using on there. I also say I picked out a limited amount of stamps, so that the stamps I'm using are the same throughout. And you can pick out whatever stamps you want if you're going to do this. You don't need to use the stamps I'm using. So let's have a look. So this then is this page, which I've backed with this. This is tea-dyed paper that I printed on a grid. I did that for my phonology journal, and these are the bits that were left over. The phonology journal, I needed that bit, and I had these bits left over, and I decided that these are just perfect for going on the back of here. Then this is this one, and I've taken out both sections, and I also printed some of them on transparency film, and that's what's in here. That one's that way, that one's that way. I thought what I would do is, here's another one. I would make another one with you. So these are the 4 pages that we have. And the first thing, I've already done this, is I've inked up all around. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to stick this on here to give this time to set. So by the time I get round to using this one, it's ready. So I'll let that one set. This is my outside one, so let's just start here with this one, and I want to start by doing some stamping on it. And I'll show you how I'm using this bug stamp. So because this is quite a dark one, I'm using the black. And you see, if I just do like that, then you just get a bit of a bug stamped on it. Let's just have a bit of a bug there as well. See, there wasn't enough ink left on that. Right, let's use this one. I think this is all from All and Create. It's, if you want to know the number, it's 561. All and Create tend to number all their stamps. This is one of their minis. I just want a wee bit of the texture up here. I'm not bothered with how accurately it stamps, just to give a wee bit more interest. And I'm using this because there's lots of circles in this particular, you've got the circles of the slides, so I actually thought it was quite nice to use a circle stamp. So even if you haven't got this particular stamp, you might wish to use a circle stamp just to give some more ideas of circles in the background. Is that all I want stamp wise? No, I think I'm going to, well, I need to stamp a number. I could stamp a number, or I could get a number from the kit, but I'm going to stamp a number because there's a number here that's in a little oval which fits in there. Now I don't know if Tracie made that little oval to fit these little stamps, so it's just a kind of standard size she tends to use, but I just love that these stamps fit inside this little oval. You just got to make sure I put it the right way up. Look at that. That fab. But you could write in it. If you don't have a stamp, you could use a different stamp. If you don't have a stamp at all, you could write in there. If you have something like a pegs or a letter set, you could make up your own numbers to put in there. I'm just using these because I have them. And I think I'm also going to use, which one? Let's put this sample stamp on the back. Let's put it up there. Now occasionally I do stamp after I've stuck on the bits, but I do tend to do the stamping all behind mostly. Now I want to get some bits. Let's see. Oh, what about that bit? These are a bit big. Sometimes they're okay, but I feel you really need to cover them up because they're so big. So these have some that are kind of plant materials and some that are insects and things. So I'm tempted to put this insect on here like that, and then let's put a label on there as well, liking that. And on this side let's put, we've already got some here, so maybe just a one wee side. Oh, maybe we put this. No, maybe not. That doesn't make sense. Let's go back to putting that on there. I don't like that on there though. It's the wrong side. Let's see if we can find a small. Oh, let's go for that one. It goes that way. So it's going the other way. Yeah, that's better. Happier with that. Right, so that's that, the kind of background, if you like, of that one done. Now I need to think about the image for in here, and maybe you could argue maybe I should have thought about the image for in here first. Yeah, okay, I'll roll with that. I haven't used There are butterflies somewhere, and I hadn't used any of the butterflies yet, so I think I'm going to use a butterfly image on here if it fits in the gap. Oh, it's very, that's maybe a bit big. There's another one. Is the other one a different size? I don't know. I'll bring this over so you can see, because you'll just get an idea of some of the other. Oh, there it's there. She finds it straight away though. I think there's only the two this size kind of butterflies. Well, that one's better. I think it's because it's got those kind of more square. Yeah, I feel like that one's too big, and that one, I mean, it's also a bit too big, but it's doable. So that's going to go in there. But the first thing I'm going to do is I've printed off some of Tracie's Faux Mica, and I'm using that on these slides. So we've got this bit. This is, I don't know if I want this bit here because it's quite, especially with that butterfly, I maybe want one that's a kind of clear a bit. There we go. That's that one, and I'm going to now do the same for this one. Let's decide what picture's going in behind first. So I'll show you how to deal with these pictures that are too short. Now I want to stick these two together. I've got the fold to help me measure up that they're in the right place, but I also need to make sure I don't end up making it difficult for them to fold. Well, that's drying. I'm just going to cut out the notches. This is another of the signatures. I've stamped this upside down, which doesn't matter so much there, but here it's a bit odd. But I might end up sticking something. In fact, let's just do that. Even though I've just put everything away, let's just stick something over. You could leave these bits, but let's just find something to stick over that, just to distract from it a bit, the fact that it's upside down. There, what about that? You could just stick that in there like that. If there was lots of other, if it was a more typical journal with lots of other things upside down, but because it's a scientific type journal, you wouldn't have the kind of upside down things. Everything would be nicely, well, it might be a bit chaotic, but do I leave it just as it is, upside down? Do I mind it? I'm not going to be giving or selling or anything this, so do I mind that it's upside down? Shall I stick that? No, I'm going to stick that on because I quite like it. Now I see it regardless of whether it's upside down or not, because the red ties into the red of the squares. But you need to watch for that kind of thing when you're working loosely on loose pages, especially when the pages end up getting turned up different ways and things. So that's that one. This is the one you've already seen, and I've got another one, 2, 3, so with that will be my little journal. And what I need to do is I need to, because of the way I'm going to be binding it, which is into a hidden spine, I need to round my inside corners before I bind it. But I'm not ready for, oh, that one there hasn't been inked. Oh, I didn't do anything on that one either. That needs stuff on it, so let's just, oh yes, and I was going to go around and adding some more of Tracie's tape to images as well. I stuck that one on. I thought, oh, I'd forgotten to use Tracie's tape, so I'm going to go around. This was a stamp, not a different stamp, still one of Tracie's, and then I've just kind of used labels and scribbled in the bottom. And I've just realised that I did this because this one needed a, I did it in here as well, didn't I, in one of them, but that was one of the, but because this has got a thing, it really needs something on that side of it, doesn't it? That was a miss. Right, I'm going to sort these out and do some just tidying of edges and things, and I will be back next week and we will do the cover. Thank you so much for watching. The details of the kit are down below. You take care. Bye for now. Keep crafting.